Hi Partakers, it's Sunday again. Thank you so much for being around. Thank you for loving yourself. You know, they say self-care is the best form of love you can ever share, not only to yourself, but with others. Because if you're in great shape, if you're in the best possible position in your life, then you'll do better for yourself and for others as well. So here we talk about health, but we talk about a particular segment, nutrition. My name is Amanda Twebaze. I'm a nutritionist and I'm very happy to host you on the show today. For our newbies, these are the things that you can expect. We'll definitely start with the food throne, which is going to happen right about now. Now on the food throne, we really talk about just a food, healthy food that is, and try and highlight what its benefits are, so we can know why exactly we are supposed to add it to our menu. You know, eat purposefully, not just eating because something looks like it has a good color or it has a soft texture, but also eating because, you know, when it gets into your body, it's going to do something for you. Today we're going to talk about a type of nuts called almond nuts. Almond nuts are, first of all, tasty. They can make milk for you, so when you're actually cooking or if you're trying to make smoothies, you could actually make a milk out of this, out of these nuts. It doesn't always have to be cow milk. And the best part about it when it comes to the nutrition that we actually get from these nuts is you'll get calcium as well from these, so your bones and your muscles are going to be thriving and lively, your hair and your nails too. And then we also get some really good vitamin E from these nuts. We get some really good good cholesterol, actually HDL cholesterol. Then we also get omega-3 fats. Now, looking at all these nutrients that we have just talked about, they actually are really important for our hair health, our heart health, our brain health, our skin health. No wonder we have almond oil in so many of our cosmetics these days, because they know and they have actually gotten to find out that almond is full of nutrition, very, very good for those particular parts of our body. So almonds are something you definitely need to have. You can have apparently up to 23 almonds a day, as long as you are not on a diet, a restrictive diet, you know, for particular health reasons. You can have as much as that. But remember, they also have a fat in them, so you need to take it easy and also leave space to actually eat other foods because they are filling. Well, that was almonds for us. Let's get into our discussion room. Here we're talking about the questions that you are asking as a wellness community, but also the lessons really that we can learn from these questions. Now, the detailed responses to the following questions will always be laid out in detail on the Facebook page, and that's why you have to head down there and start following and start engaging, because we are an active group, realistic group, and a group that really wants to just get better. The Facebook page name is Amanda Twebaze Nutritionist. Let's get into our discussion room. Who's starting us off? We have someone called Edwin. So Mr. Edwin says, I have a problem of gas in my stomach, very common problem for so many. The condition becomes worse when I lay on my bed. What fruits can I take to rectify the underlying conditions? So definitely fruits and vegetables especially are very important to help us deal with that bloating, you know, that unwanted gas in our stomach, which is definitely going to happen because you're digesting and there's waste material being produced by your body. Not only that, but so many other metabolic processes in our body that are actually letting out our waste gas. So you'll definitely have gas, but what's important is expelling it, getting it all out. And one of the important nutrients for this is fiber. So fiber is important, and we get it a lot from our vegetables and our fruit. Fruit also comes with sugars, so we want to just balance it out. Not that the sugars are bad, but we shouldn't be having too much of them as well. And then what we should point out is when it comes to the vegetables that you would be using, you want to be careful to not overdo, especially a type of vegetables called cruciferous vegetables, because these ones in particular, if you have them in high quantities, they can actually heighten the bloating or the gas in your stomach. You know, they actually could trigger you having more gas in your stomach. So you want to be careful with those. These are things in the cabbage family, so cabbage, lettuce, Yeah, things like that. You want to be very, very careful around those types of vegetables. Our second question is from a wonderful lady called Ruth, and she says, is it bad to take sugar in any form? Well, sugar, as much as people have said so many bad things about it and have called it a devil food, sugar is a very important part of our bodies because it actually gives us the calories that we need to keep going. But what's important is what type of sugar are you having, you know, and then how is the sugar being delivered to your body? Is it just coming as processed sugar so that it overwhelms your body? Or is it actually coming embedded in other healthful, nutrients, for example, fiber, like the sugar that you find in natural fruits, as opposed to having sugar just like that? So it's important what type of sugar and how the sugar is actually being delivered to your body. That would, really, really help us when it comes to our health. Otherwise, as we age, we also do not need so much sugar, especially the processed type. So we need to reduce on that and then rely more on the natural sugars. The third one is coming in from an anonymous person. They say, hi, I'm a student and I'm fat, but I don't know what to do to become thin. Do you think you can help me, please? Now, a problem with our students is when it's time for going back to school, whether you're in nursery, primary, secondary, even campus, you'll find people have been packed with grab. We call it grab, which is definitely filled with more junk foods. These foods are full of too much sugar, processed sugar. These foods are mostly deep fried. We're talking about our, what is it called? Hard corn. We're talking about our, which some people call mberenge. We are talking about mandazi, like the things that are eaten at school. I know they have a longer shelf life, so they are more durable. But then the things that are embedded in them are highly, should I call them useless? Because they are mainly sugar and fat. Like, you're not getting so much more out of them. Excess calories really is what you're getting out of them. So we should be trying to balance our grab, even for our parents that are packing this grab for us, even for us as students. We should be able to make our lists, Make your list and make sure that your list involves or has included in it very healthful snacks. Some of these can be roasted nuts and seeds. For example, the almonds we just talked about as we started the show. You can have your G-nuts, which are very common as well. Soya is very, very available right now around us. We have sim, you have raisins or dried fruits. We have dried mangoes, dried bananas these days. Those are really, really helpful and healthful snacks that you can actually pack to take to school. So be mindful of what kind of grab you're actually packing to school, and you'll definitely see a difference in your body weight. This fourth question is coming in again from an anonymous person, and they say, hello Amanda, what can I use to make my skin soft? Skin is very, something so sensitive. It's also something that all of us are quite interested in, because we want it to look its best, we want it to shine. But how are you making sure that this skin actually shines? What are you doing on its inside for it to be able to shine on the outside? That's what's important, and that's what helps us have a soft skin. Well, before we get into what we can actually do, or a very, very big main tip that we should be following, you would also want definitely to get to follow all the other social media platforms, because we are active. And what are we talking about? We're talking about wellness, we're talking about health, and we're talking about nutrition. So you'd want to head to my Instagram account and just follow. The handle is Food Witness. And then on our YouTube, we also have health content there, done definitely by me. The YouTube channel name is Amanda Twebaze Nutritionist. On WhatsApp, this is how people are sending their questions, most of them. So you want to send yours in, very easy. Head down to WhatsApp and send your inquiry on 0782 152610. This is a humble request. Don't expect an instant reply on your questions as soon as you send them. There are some people who send in questions and then they're like, so what's the answer? So what's the response? I'm waiting for the reply. But I can't respond to them instantly, because there are so many other people that are asking that came before you, and we need to tackle each question one by one. So be patient until your time comes up. Anyway, so what's that tip for our skin? For our skin, you want to make sure that you're trapping in as much moisture as you can, coming in from water definitely. Water is the one that gives us that moisture content for our skin and will definitely keep it soft. But how do you trap that? Is using healthy oils, healthy butters. And the ones that I really love to use are some things like shea butter. That one is always in the house because I know how great it is. You know, it's a natural one, it's an organic one, less side effects, and yet at the same time, it's going to be protecting your skin and trapping in the moisture so your skin can actually be soft. And this should be routinely done morning and evening. That would definitely be very helpful for you. Let's head to our last question of the discussion room. Okay, the last question is coming in from someone called Love. I love that name. And she says, what could be the problem with me? I don't like taking water. I mean, drinking water. Well, what we should be able to come to learn about life is everything we eventually develop as a lifestyle is always something that comes out of practice. And practicing leads you to create habits that actually become your lifestyle, that it becomes consistent, it becomes like second nature to you, it becomes everyday routine, that it's not something that you think about or struggle with. So even with water, it's a common problem for so many of us that we don't like water, we have issues with water, but you have to learn to condition yourself, you know, to drinking this water. So you don't have to start with a whole huge jerry can of water so that you say, no, I'm drinking water. Yes, determination is great, but also being realistic is great, is better. So start with smaller amounts of water and then gradually increase. You'll find that later on, you'll actually not have any problem drinking water. You'd be the one that's actually looking for it, not it looking for you by, you know, making you have all these symptoms and signs in your body or on your body. So yeah, just take it easy with yourself, start small, and you'll get there. Make a habit out of it so that it actually turns into a lifestyle. Don't worry, so many of us were there before. I also used to have problems drinking water, but now. So the take of the week is coming in from someone called Damn White Andy, and he came off from the Facebook platform. He was responding to a question that was saying, what are some toxic substances from our environment that we should be more aware of? You know, there's so many contaminants in our environment these days because of industrialization, commercialization, you know, what we want to call civilization, and yet it came with so many other effects, negative effects. So he says, too much of fries and doing junk most. And that's really important because sometimes we think the food we're eating is just so tasty, but at the end of the day, to be honest, it's just processed food that is not doing so much in your body aside tiring you, making you fatigued, you know, less productive, maybe even snoring, you know, moody. It's not really helping you to get your body to do what it was designed to do, which is perform at its best, you know, because we are one of the highly intelligent animals that have ever graced this earth. So for us to be able to utilize that intelligence and that potential that we have within us, we have to also facilitate our bodies, and we facilitate them by giving them food that actually is going to help them, you know, to thrive. So thank you, Damn White Andy, for reminding us about that our food is one of the toxic substances we actually might be not taking keen interest in, and yet we need to be aware of. All right, we're about to end the show. It's time for the wellness quote. The wellness quote is a very interesting one today. At first it might seem offensive or abusive, but it's actually full of knowledge in it. So this one is coming in from Mr. Gustav Flaubert, and he says, to be stupid, selfish, and have good health are 3 requirements for happiness. Did you hear that right? To be stupid, selfish, and have good health are 3 requirements for happiness. Though if stupidity is lacking, then all is lost. He's not trying to say, you know, you have no thinking capacity, no common sense. He's just trying to say, if you are a person that is always willing to learn, a person that acts like they don't know anything to be able to learn. Create space for more knowledge, not always wanting to give out what you know, but also learning from what is out there, you know, and filtering and sieving and seeing what is actually important for you. That is his sense of, you know, him saying, if you are stupid, if you're not stupid, then all is lost. So he needs us to, you know, create space to learn every day, you know, be receptive, try and look out for more knowledge every single day from wherever. You can get it from books, you can get it from someone else's life experience, you can get it from documentaries, from TV. There's always something to learn every single day. Being selfish doesn't mean you should be mean, doesn't mean you should bully others. Definitely not. It just means keep a bit of time for yourself, you know, keep a bit of time to take care of yourself. Be selfish have a little bit of selfishness for you, so that you have, you know, that time to actually grow, to develop, to get better, you know, to feel good about yourself, not always concentrating on making sure every other person is fine, every other person is good, and forgetting yourself at the end of the day. So that's his sense of saying being selfish and having good health. Of course, if you're not healthy, if you're sick, if you're in pain, if you're not feeling completely well, then you'll not be happy. So if you want to be happy, think about having good health and how you can improve that. Think about how you can have a little level of selfishness for you. And then think about how you can be stupid. In other words, how you can be accepting to learn and open to new ideas as well. That was Mr. Gustav Flaubert. So we have come to the end of the show. So glad you have stuck around until the end, and you know, I'll be waiting to see you the next week. Until next week, do remember that wellness is an adventure. I'll see you soon. Bye.